Some lessons in life come easy. Others come wrapped in pain so deep you wonder if you'll ever recover. This is my story about trust, betrayal, and learning what really matters. My name is Jake, and I'm 28 years old. For almost 3 years, I thought I had found the person I'd spend my life with. Her name was Jessica, and looking back now, I realize I was in love with the idea of her, not who she actually was. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me start from the beginning. I met Jessica at a friend's birthday party. She was standing by the snack table, laughing at something on her phone. When she looked up and smiled at me, I felt my stomach flip. She had this energy about her that just pulled you in. We talked all night, about everything and nothing. She told me about her job at a marketing company. I told her about my work as an engineer. She said she loved how passionate I was about my family. I loved how she said family was important to her too. We exchanged numbers that night, and by the next week, we were on our first date. Those early months were amazing. She'd leave cute notes in my car. I'd surprise her with her favorite coffee. We'd stay up late talking about our dreams and the life we wanted to build together. She'd say things like, "I can't wait to meet your parents someday, and family is everything to me." Those words meant a lot because my parents are my world. They sacrificed so much to give me a good life, and I wanted someone who understood that. 6 months into dating, things got more serious. We talked about moving in together eventually, about marriage, about kids. She seemed excited about all of it. But now I know people can say all the right things and mean none of them. For the first 2 years, everything seemed perfect. Sure, we had small arguments like any couple. She'd get annoyed if I spent too much time with my friends. I'd get frustrated when she was late to things, but nothing major, nothing that made me question us. Then came the day I decided to introduce her to my parents. I was nervous, really nervous. My parents mean everything to me, and their opinion matters. I wanted them to love her as much as I did. I planned it all carefully. I asked my mom to make her famous lasagna because Jessica had mentioned loving Italian food. I cleaned my parents' house until it sparkled. I told Jessica to dress comfortably because my parents were laid-back people who just wanted to get to know her. The morning of the dinner, my mom called me 3 times to make sure everything was ready. She was so excited to finally meet the girl I'd been talking about for 2 years. My dad even put on his nice shirt, which he only does for special occasions. He kept asking me questions about Jessica, what she'd like to talk about, what her hobbies were. He wanted to make a good impression. That's the kind of parents I have, the kind who care, the kind who try. When Jessica arrived, my mom opened the door with the biggest smile. She hugged Jessica like she was already family. My dad shook her hand warmly and invited her in. The house smelled incredible. My mom had been cooking all day: lasagna, garlic bread, salad, and her special chocolate cake for dessert. We all sat down in the living room first, just to chat. My mom asked Jessica about her work. My dad told some of his old funny stories. I was sitting there feeling happy, thinking this was going great. But then I noticed something. Jessica's answers were short, almost cold. She wasn't really engaging. She kept checking her phone. My mom asked if she wanted something to drink. Jessica barely looked up and said, "Water is fine, I guess." My dad tried to show her some family photos on the wall. Photos of me as a kid, photos from vacations, photos that told our family story. Jessica glanced at them for maybe 2 seconds and said, "That's nice." I felt my stomach tighten. This wasn't how I imagined things going. During dinner, my mom kept trying. She asked Jessica about her family, about her hobbies, about her dreams. My mom has this way of making people feel comfortable, of making them feel heard. But Jessica gave basic answers. Sometimes she'd just nod. Sometimes she'd look at her plate like she was bored. My dad, sensing the awkwardness, tried to lighten the mood with jokes. He's not great at jokes, but he tries hard. Jessica didn't laugh. She didn't even smile. She just sat there looking uncomfortable. My mom noticed. I saw the hurt flash across her face, but she kept trying because that's who she is. After dinner, my mom brought out the chocolate cake she'd spent hours making. She was so proud of it. "I hope you like chocolate," my mom said, cutting Jessica a big slice. Jessica looked at it and said, "I'm not really hungry anymore." My mom's face fell. My dad looked down at his plate. I felt anger rising in my chest. The rest of the evening dragged. Jessica barely spoke. When we finally left, she didn't even thank my parents properly. Just a quick bye as she walked out the door. In the car, I was silent. I didn't know what to say. I was hurt, confused, and angry all at once. Finally, I asked, "What was that?" "What was what?" Jessica said, looking at her phone again. "You were so rude to my parents. They went out of their way to make you feel welcome, and you acted like you didn't want to be there." She rolled her eyes. Actually rolled her eyes. "Your parents are just... I don't know, Jake. They're too traditional. The way they talk, the way they act. It's kind of embarrassing, honestly." I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. "Embarrassing?" I repeated. "My parents, who worked 3 jobs to put me through college, who sacrificed everything for me, are embarrassing to you?" "I just mean they're old-fashioned. They asked me so many questions. It felt like an interview, and your mom was trying way too hard. It was uncomfortable." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My mom, who has the kindest heart of anyone I know, was trying too hard? "She was being welcoming," I said, my voice shaking. "She was excited to meet you because I've told her so much about you. And you treated her like she was bothering you." Jessica sighed like I was overreacting. "Look, I just don't think I fit with that whole traditional family thing. Can we drop it?" We didn't talk much for the rest of the drive. When I dropped her off, she kissed my cheek like nothing had happened and went inside. I sat in my car for 20 minutes, just trying to process everything. That night, my mom called me. She was crying. "Did I do something wrong?" she asked. "Did I say something that upset her?" My heart broke. My mom, who had done nothing but show kindness, was blaming herself. "No, Mom," I said. "You were perfect. She was just having an off day." But I knew it wasn't an off day. I knew it was who she really was. Over the next few weeks, things felt different between Jessica and me. That crack I felt during dinner with my parents had turned into a canyon. She never apologized for how she acted, never asked about my parents. When I'd mention them, she'd change the subject. I started noticing other things too. How she'd flirt with guys when we were out. How she'd talk about her coworker a lot. A guy named Derek. "Derek said this funny thing today," she'd say. Or, "Derek and I grabbed lunch." At first, I told myself I was being paranoid, that I was still upset about the dinner and looking for problems. But my gut kept telling me something was wrong. One night, Jessica fell asleep on my couch while we were watching a movie. Her phone kept buzzing, over and over. I shouldn't have looked. I know that. But something in me needed to know. I picked up her phone. The messages were from Derek. "Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Last night was amazing. When are you going to tell him about us?" My hands were shaking. I scrolled up. There were weeks of messages, flirty messages, plans to meet up, messages that made it clear they'd been together, physically together. I woke Jessica up. "Who's Derek?" I asked, showing her the phone. She sat up quickly, suddenly wide awake. For a second she looked panicked, then her face went blank. "It's not what you think," she started. "Really? Because it looks like you've been cheating on me." She didn't deny it. She just sat there. "How long?" I asked. "A few weeks," she said quietly. "A few weeks. A few weeks of lying to my face. A few weeks of pretending everything was fine while she was with someone else." "Why didn't you just break up with me?" I asked. "Why string me along?" She shrugged. Actually shrugged. "I didn't know what I wanted. I have feelings for Derek, but I didn't want to hurt you." "You didn't want to hurt me?" I almost laughed. "You cheated on me. You disrespected my parents. And you're sitting here acting like you were doing me a favor by not being honest? Your parents are part of the problem," she said, her voice getting defensive. "You're so attached to them. You care more about what they think than what I think. It's suffocating." Now I was angry. Really angry. "My parents have nothing to do with you cheating. You made that choice. You chose to lie. You chose to be with someone else while still being with me." She stood up, grabbing her stuff. "I knew you'd make this about your precious parents. You always do. You can't see that maybe I needed something different, something more exciting." "Then you should have left," I said. "You should have been honest instead of sneaking around." She walked to the door, then turned back. "Maybe I stayed because I felt sorry for you. Maybe I knew you'd fall apart without me." Those words stung more than anything else she'd said. She left, and I stood there in my empty apartment, feeling like my whole world had collapsed. The next few days were brutal. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, kept replaying everything in my head. I called my parents, told them everything. My mom cried with me. My dad told me Jessica never deserved me in the first place. We saw it that night, my dad said. We saw how she treated you, how she looked down on us. We didn't want to say anything because you seemed happy. But we knew she wasn't right for you. My parents had seen it before I did. They'd kept quiet because they didn't want to hurt me. That's love. Real love. I blocked Jessica on everything, deleted her number, removed every trace of her from my life. Some of our mutual friends reached out. Some took her side, saying I was overreacting. Those people aren't my friends anymore. Real friends saw the truth. They saw how she disrespected me and my family. They stood by me. It's been 3 months now since everything ended. 3 months of healing and learning and growing. I won't lie and say I'm completely over it. Some days are harder than others. Some days I still get angry thinking about how she wasted 3 years of my life. But mostly, I feel relieved. Relieved that I found out who she really was before I married her. Before we had kids. Before I wasted more years. The way she treated my parents showed me everything I needed to know about her character. My parents, who welcomed her with open arms, who tried so hard to make her feel like family, didn't deserve her coldness. And the cheating? That was just confirmation of what I already suspected. That she never really loved me. That I was convenient until something better came along. I've learned some important lessons from all this. I've learned that words mean nothing without actions. Jessica said she valued family, but her actions showed the opposite. I've learned that how someone treats your family says everything about who they are. If they can't show respect to the people who raised you, they don't respect you either. I've learned that cheating isn't a mistake. It's a choice, a series of choices. And anyone who makes those choices doesn't deserve your forgiveness or your time. My parents have been my rock through all of this. They check on me every day. They invite me over for dinner. They remind me that I'm loved and valued. That's what real love looks like, not whatever I had with Jessica. I'm not ready to date again yet. Maybe I won't be for a while. But when I am, I know exactly what I'm looking for. Someone who treats my family with kindness. Someone who values loyalty. Someone whose words match their actions. Someone who would never make me choose between them and the people who raised me. Jessica did me a favor, even though she doesn't know it. She showed me her true self before it was too late. She taught me what I won't tolerate in a relationship. And honestly, I'm grateful for that lesson, even though it hurt like hell to learn it. To anyone going through something similar, I want you to know this. When someone shows you who they really are, believe them. Don't make excuses. Don't ignore the red flags. And never, ever stay with someone who disrespects your family or cheats on you. You deserve better. You deserve someone who sees your worth and treats you accordingly. I thought Jessica was my future. Turns out, she was just a painful chapter in my story. A chapter that's now closed. And I'm okay with that. More than okay, actually. Because the next chapter? That's going to be written by someone who deserves to be in it. Someone who understands that love means respect, honesty, and treating the people you care about with kindness. Jessica wasn't that person. But somewhere out there, the right person exists. And when I find her, I'll know. Because she'll love my parents almost as much as I do. She'll be honest even when it's hard. And she'll never make me question my worth. That's the kind of love I'm waiting for now. The real kind. The kind that doesn't come with betrayal and disrespect. I'm healing, day by day, step by step. And I know I'm going to be okay.